How to live in the end using gratitude. I was asked this question by a viewer, and this video is going to be all about that. I am also often asked to share some of my own experiences with conscious manifestation and to share some more practical examples of whatever I'm explaining in the videos, all of which is going to happen in this video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a manifestation coach. On this channel, I am teaching the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard. So we are staying true to the law. If that was what you were looking for, you are definitely in the right place. Subscribe and stay for more. And if you happen to resonate with my teachings and my way of explaining the law and you happen to need any additional help with your specific manifestations, I am available for one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. In this video, I want to focus on two things when it comes to gratitude. One is living in the end. The other one, I will get to it when I explain my own experience with gratitude, which is equally as important as living in the end. So if you are familiar with manifestation, you know that you manifest what you currently believe to be true. That is why Neville Goddard called this the law of assumption, which means that what you assume to be true, that is what you are going to experience on the external. And that is why we do the techniques. Whatever technique you do, the purpose of it is to get you in the state of the wish fulfilled, also called living in the end, feeling it real, etc. You do the techniques in order to get to that state, because that state is the state of knowing that it's already yours, and that is what manifests. And why gratitude is such a great way of getting there is because you can't be grateful for something you don't want. If you get into the feeling of gratitude, that is already in and of itself the wish fulfilled, because whatever you desire, you are going to feel some sort of gratitude when that happens. And manifestation is about making it happen on the inside, experiencing it on the inside so that it can be experienced on the outside. So it's first in your mind, in your imagination, in your non-physical parts, and then it inevitably has to happen in the 3D. So how can you use gratitude here? The simplest way is simply to start your affirmations with gratitude. Now, if you have been following me for any amount of time, you know that I am not the coach that will make you do something new in every video. I am more about persisting in one thing until it happens. Of course, you shouldn't persist in something that doesn't work. That's why I'm here. But if you are already affirming, if you already have your affirmations, don't change those affirmations. Don't think that you're doing something wrong even. You don't. All I want you to do here in this case is simply to add, I am so grateful that, and then your affirmation. And when you affirm, make sure to focus. Make sure to focus on the feeling of gratitude, on the word gratitude even, because whatever you focus on in your mind, that idea, that word, that term, that affirmation has to manifest as a feeling in your body. Your mind and body have to calibrate to be on the same level. So you can't be focusing on something bad and feel good, for example. This is easier to understand, I think. So if you're constantly fearing, worrying that something bad is going to happen, that is not going to feel good in your body, because that story manifests in your body first. So the same way, when you start focusing on gratitude and how you are grateful that this thing is already yours, that this manifestation has already happened, that you are experiencing it, that feeling of the gratitude and the experience of it needs to manifest in your body. So it gets your whole self in the wish fulfilled. But you need to focus, because that is just more powerful and it quickens things. And again, I know that there's a lot of talk about robotic affirmations. If it works for you, keep doing it. I'm not going to teach robotic affirmations because I have tried both, and I can say for sure, at least for me, that focusing on an affirmation is far more powerful because it just quickens the process, and it gets you into the feeling state at least quicker. So when you are thinking of your desire, focus on how grateful you are that it's yours. How grateful you are that it has happened. And the most practical way of doing it is just affirming it. If you are doing imaginal acts, which is visualization, inner conversations, you can use the word gratitude. I'm so grateful for fill in the blank, and just add it to your already ready scene, imaginal act, whatever you're doing. Or you don't even have to do this. You don't even have to add the word and change the script. Do whatever you're doing. In the meantime, feel grateful. However you do it, there's no right or wrong. Everyone feels things differently, so you do it your way, and don't question whether or not you're doing it right. You do it right. You know how you feel grateful your way. So do whatever you're doing, affirmations, imaginal acts. In the meantime, focus on being grateful for the fact that it has already happened. Now, and that is simply living in the end. The more you do that, the more you get into that state, the more you rehearse that state, the more normal it becomes, the more it sinks in, and then it becomes your new reality on the inside, and then it has to manifest on the outside. Now, I want to tell you how I discovered the magic of gratitude, and I might have told this in a different video, but this is really the right place to tell this again, and I'm probably going to repeat this story many times, so just so you consider yourself warned, this story is going to come up in my videos, because it's such a clear and a precise, I don't know, way of how gratitude literally did magic, and so quickly. So a couple of years ago, I was manifesting something that came to mind right in that moment. Like, I want this thing right now, so I'm going to manifest it to happen today. It was that kind of like, it wasn't manifesting, I don't know, something that could take days even. It was something to happen now. I want this thing now. So I started affirming that this has already happened, this has already happened. I was walking back and forth and affirming in my mind, and as I was affirming, I was getting more and more focused on how it's not happening, how the lack of it. And so what I did was affirming harder, affirming even more, which sometimes works. It can work, but there are times where it just makes it worse. So the more I was affirming, the more frustrated I was becoming, the more I was focusing on lack, and it created this ugly feeling of resistance, and I want this and I don't have this, I wanted more and it's not happening. So it created this whole resistance thing, and I remembered Neville Goddard's words from one of his lectures, where he says that when I think a thought, because God is the creative power that creates everything and manifests everything into reality, into physical reality, right? And God is your wonderful human imagination, in Neville Goddard's words. So when you are imagining something, it's God in action. If you persist in that, it's going to become your physical reality. So in this lecture, Neville Goddard says, if I heard my thought, then he heard it. Because you and God are not separate, because you can't separate yourself from your imagination. And again, in Neville Goddard's words, God is not even near, because nearness implies separation. So it is close, so still not one. But God is not near. God is you. It's your wonderful human imagination. So even if you wanted to, you couldn't separate yourself from God. You can't be without your imagination. So if I heard it, he heard it. If I saw it in my mind, he saw it. So I'm good. And that helped me to relax. And I started just saying, thank you for making this happen. You know what I want. I was just talking to my imagination, God, subconscious, whatever you want to call it, or however you want to think of it. But in this moment, I was talking to God. In me. You know what I want, because I have been affirming it for half an hour nonstop. But even if you had affirmed it once, if you heard it, he heard it. You know what I want, and I know that you know how to bring it to me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then I started simply affirming thank you and really focusing on that. I had never done this before. I knew about the technique. Neville Goddard talks about it. Even he says that to make it simple, you could simply just affirm thank you for something that is already done. So I did that. And every time my mind would go to, oh my God, but how is it going to happen? What if it doesn't happen? Maybe I should affirm more. Hey, stop. It has already happened. I heard it. So he heard it and he knows how to bring it to me. So thank you. Thank you for making this happen for me. Thank you. And then I started doing the same thing as I was doing before. So affirming on and on and on. But all I was affirming was thank you and really focusing on it. And yes, my mind would wander. I would bring it back, focus on thank you. And after a while, I don't know how much I affirmed it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. I don't remember, because I was so immersed and focused on this gratitude, just the words thank you. At some point, I physically felt my state change. And this is what happens when you focus on your affirmations. I felt the feeling of gratitude so strongly that it just put everything in place. And this was the best way for me in that moment to get rid of resistance. And this was the second thing that I was going to mention. Getting into the feeling of gratitude gets you rid of resistance completely. You can't be grateful and resistant at the same time. They contradict each other. Whichever you focus on is going to grow, and focusing on gratitude is going to completely eliminate resistance. And have you live in the end at the same time. Because if there's resistance, again, you can't live in the end because they contradict each other. So as I felt this feeling of gratitude, I was done. Like it was this feeling of, it's like I don't need to do any more. And it's not like you don't desire it anymore. It's not like you don't care. But it's also a place where you just don't think about it. It's like you have it already. So yes, you're happy to have it, but you're not going to completely focus on it all all the time. That is what techniques are for, to get you into this place where it's done. It's done. It feels good. I have it. And that is what gratitude can do for you. And it was magical. It is absolutely magical. It takes repetition and focus. But oh my goodness, when you get there, I really want to say challenge every one of you to try this and persist in the moment. Persist in the moment. Your mind wanders. It's okay, bring it back. You don't see how it's ever going to happen. It's okay, you don't need to bring it back. You're already feeling grateful. Focus on that. And of course, what I was affirming and then being grateful for did manifest later that same day without me lifting a finger. And this is why I always say, do your mental work and everything else will take care of itself. So if you need any additional help with your specific manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. And for more on how to manifest by doing the mental work and without having to worry about anything else, click on the link here and see you in the next video.